It's
Yep.
1 o'clock, so let's officially start the meeting. Andy, why don't you run the meeting?
Okay, well, since there's seven of us here, we'll go ahead and I'll just open it up. Any comments? What do you all think? Let's hear what you think about what took place. Um, how do you feel about the exercise? And we'll just go down the line. Who wants to go first?
I'll go
Nancy,
first. Sure.
go ahead,
Why
Nancy.
not? Well, I do want to say that I collected all of my messages from my neighborhood net control very quickly because many of the people on our team wanted to do other things today. And so they asked if we could start earlier. So she agreed that she would start a radio check and collecting messages at 9 o'clock this morning.
That's
So
fine.
that worked. And then of course she wanted to dump them off on me really early, so I took them. And then I thought I thought it kind of went okay from my point of view. I did have one question, and it was about the fact, and I think, Andy, you might have gotten some pushback too from the Springfield Net Control, is that we were just from block 2 through block 7. I just take down what somebody gives me,
Yes.
and then I pass it on. And so when something like this happens, like we did in these two scenarios in September and now, where the Springfield Net Control has taken over on behalf of Eugene, I couldn't understand why they wanted me to change Block 2 to Springfield. I I tried to explain that no, it was given to me as Eugene because the people that needed the help were in Eugene. And but I got a lot of pushback on that. And I thought maybe there was just some confusion there. Um, I mean, it was like it would have helped to track where the message originated. It was like that was the only thing that was awkward for me. Otherwise, transmitting my messages went fine. Um, and I tried to listen to a lot, but I came and went now and then because I was alone here and people kept ringing my doorbell and things. But
Right.
otherwise, I listened to everybody else as I could. And that was my report.
Okay, thank you, Nancy. Yes, and I wrote that down as one of the things that I wanted to kind of talk about was the really for the block 2. It was wanting to put in Springfield EOC. So you had to think of this scenario. Uh, Springfield EOC stepped up to cover for Eugene on the Eugene emergency communication frequency. And to take the traffic from all the Eugene districts of their messages. So all of our messages, actually all of the messages in the county is going to go to the EOC, whether it be Lane County EOC, Springfield EOC, Mohawk EOC, Junction City EOC, Veneta EOC, Cottage Grove EOC. They're all going to go to a EOC. So Springfield is acting as a relay for Eugene on the Eugene emergency frequency. It's given that all the Eugene traffic is going to go to some authority in Eugene. However, Springfield is going to do that whether they have a separate net or they will hand deliver to a representative that is at that Springfield. They will do that. And so through that, I thought it was kind of like, why do we need to say Springfield? The message that I received from Blue River, which was for Lane County, I was waiting for Springfield to call Lane County and pass that message along, but it didn't happen. Uh, in essence, maybe to stop confusion on this, we could put in block 2 Eugene EOC, Lane County EOC, because Lane County is going to basically be the contact for all the surrounding communities, more or less. And then Springfield EOC, because Springfield's not going to dispatch anybody from the city of Springfield to go to Northwest District on Santa Clara to fix anything. No, they're gonna find somebody in Eugene and say, here's a message from Santa Clara. We're passing this along. So that's why we keep it simple and just say EOC. It's going to the EOC that you're associated with. So that's,
Question.
yeah,
I have one question, one comment. So clearly, where I live in the 213s, both of them that I submitted are in the county and not in the city. And especially
right,
Santa Clara is like this jigsaw puzzle of partial
right.
city, partial county. So I don't like this idea of specifically saying which EOC it's going for. I think just
I
generic
think,
EOC is perfect.
right, right. And in your what you're talking about that area, more than likely the Springfield Eugene fire actually responds to your area, correct?
I have no idea.
You haven't seen any Eugene Springfield EMS or fire department out that
I,
way?
I actually, they've been around. I just haven't taken note of it.
Okay, okay, yeah. So I'm saying more than likely they respond to that area anyway. But yes, I think to keep it simple, like the KISS method, keep it simple, stupid. Just EOC is
And
good
let the
enough.
EOC decide where it goes.
Yeah.
And
So,
actually,
but it,
that brings up the question that I had for
yeah.
Steve, since you were obviously there at the EOC, and I missed the last meeting last Monday night. Was this something that Steve? Was this something that Aries demanded, or why was that demanded
We were following instructions.
from
Okay. We
from
follow instructions, and these were our instructions. Okay.
from
So
Aries?
from Catherine and from
Okay,
Aries, we followed instructions. Okay. If you want to change the instructions, change the instructions. But we were following instructions.
don't get upset.
Okay.
Don't get
All
upset.
right. I'm not upset. I'm just telling you we were doing what we were told to do. Okay. If you
Fine.
change the rules, we're happy to change the rules, but we're doing what we were told to do.
Okay.
Well, anyway,
And
so
so
in the
maybe that comes to me because I was told that the tactical name for the Springfield EOC was going to be Springfield EOC. And so if it came through as just EOC, we weren't sure, are they calling Springfield EOC, Lane EOC? We were both on the same frequency at times. So, and over at the Springfield EOC, you had both Springfield and Eugene working together. So if it came through for as tactical call, that's one thing, but the two on the message, you could have put it to Althea at the Springfield EOC as well.
The tactical call sign for Springfield should have been not Springfield EOC, but the tactical call sign should have just been Springfield Net Control. That's the tactical call sign. The tactical call sign and individuals can be different, but for a net, it would have just been the net control would have been Springfield Net Control. That would have been the tactical call sign. But in the future, just have Block 2 as EOC, and if somebody is filling in as a relay, then they should know where that message is going to go. They don't. It really is a no-brainer to. If there's a question and they don't know, well, where are you located at? And they say, well, I'm located in Oak Ridge. Okay, all right, I'm going to send this to Lane County. So yes, so in the future, we'll just kind of keep it simple and just have Block 2 as EOC on that. Anybody? Yeah, Craig, go ahead.
Yeah, so for several years we've just done Eugene exercises. So this is a whole different animal, and
Yeah,
maybe we should put a little time and thought into how to make it really work properly. So there are several EOCs, and when we're getting these larger exercises, we probably really want to have it so people understand where their message should go, and then they address it accordingly in the address. That totally makes sense to me that we would say, if I'm in a place where I know it's Lane County, I should say Lane EOC and not depend on some other person to sort out my mess for me.
And that's what I said earlier before you checked on, that we can go and put in block 2, whether it's Lane EOC or Springfield EOC or Eugene EOC.
Yeah.
Uh,
And we need to clarify our process so everyone understands how that's intended to work. And right now, that's not written down as far as I know.
right. No,
But
it's not, because
what happens like in this case where Springfield was sitting in for Eugene EOC?
So if the ICS form is supposed to end up at Eugene, it should say to Eugene, and those other guys are just being a relay point. Do I understand that right?
Yeah, that's it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
We
that's
need to
it.
write down. We need to think it through and write it down. Is my
Good
input.
point.
Well, that sounds like a pizza lunch. Anyway.
Maybe more than one.
Hey, I could join you on that one.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Let's see. Robert, I saw your hand up there, Robert. Are you exercising?
I'm still exercising, but
Okay.
the exercise is over. Anyway, um, yeah, well, the thing is, like, if you need fire resources, my understanding is it's Eugene and Springfield resources. And so who's
Yes.
responsible for dispatch?
Well, that I don't know, and that's something that we as relay points, uh, I don't think we really need to spend the time on that.
Okay.
We don't need to get into weeds like, all right, who's gonna send EMS or fire? Well, no, we're passing you the message. You figure out who's going to send what where.
If we're in a situation where 911 is not functional, then the EOC is going to be the people that deal with that,
Right.
right?
Yes, that's correct. And that's what this exercise is all about, that 911 is not functional, neither is 211 or your copper wire phone lines or whatever. Nothing is working. That's what this exercise is about. Yes.
What is 211?
It's another type of call service. I think I
Yeah, I
never
think it's an
did it.
informational thing. It's like a directory kind of thing,
Yeah,
service
something like that.
directory.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I didn't pay much attention to it. My fault. But anyway,
Nancy.
Nancy got your hand up.
I do. I remembered how to do that. That's pretty good. Now I've shown you I can take it back down. Actually, one thing also that I wanted to mention, because I was sort of monitoring other calls, and I was surprised by how many district net controls didn't realize it was their responsibility to assign the priority. And it's like, I don't like assigning priorities, but I do it. And my logic may be wrong, but I go ahead and I do it. And so many of the messages started off with absolutely no priority, and they said it didn't arrive that way. Well, it won't arrive to the district that way.
Nancy, or have you been looking at my notes?
I've been listening to you.
Because that's my next thing I have on my notes to talk about. But okay, I think yeah. I wrote down no priority given. I really, from the districts, 2 districts, I heard that saying no priority given. Somebody needs to be refreshed on the resource guide. The district net control sets the priority of the messages. So that was a fail for those 2 districts. They need the extra training on setting priorities. Maybe that's what we should do. Maybe that's a thing we should do. I'll call out a bunch of radio traffic, and then the drill is what is the priority. Okay. Anyway, yes, you're correct, Nancy.
Actually,
That's it. I
can
have
we,
nothing else.
can we add on, we were not getting message numbers from some of the districts.
Yeah, not all districts are up to speed yet for message identifiers. So they're not up there yet. A few are, but not all of the messages, and certainly not communities in Lane County. So remember that message identifiers was something that the EOC wanted to implement that would help them to quickly locate where the message was coming from.
The Eugene EOC.
Yes, the Eugene EOC. Yes, thank you, Craig. So it is a Eugene function on that. So one other thing is I heard the term mixed group. We don't use that term mixed group. If you have a grouping that has a mixture of letters and numbers, like a message identifier, say what it is, a message identifier, and then say letters, and say the letters, and then figures, and then say the figures. So that's, a lot of people don't know what the word you're talking about when you say mixed group. So just say what it is, a message identifier, and then say letters, figures, and go for that way. The other thing was we were doing a lot of spelling, like the word fire. I spell F-I-R-E. Really? So and the other one, I like the Springfield caught the correction on Martinique, which was good. So very good on that one. Let's see. But anyway, who else has got Lori and Robert, Catherine, Joe? Let's see, Matt. You guys have any comments or questions?
I can start. So,
Sure.
So the main problem that we had was that we were doing it from Oakley Lane and trying to communicate with Matt, and he couldn't. I don't think he could hear us, so we had to walk all the way down to Maxwell in order for us to be picked up. So if this was a real emergency, that would be a definite problem, especially if you're doing damage assessments to get response times.
Right.
It's just really difficult. And we're thinking that, our radios just don't have enough power to reach that far, or I don't know. We're just not getting that.
Well, yeah,
So that was one issue.
I think that was the problem last month with Joseph. There was trying to communicate using FRS. Lori and Joseph, you're both ham radio operators, and I assume, Lori, that you are a neighborhood ham. Use your ham radio and use the designated UHF simplex frequency to Matt. Matt, being the district net control for Northwest District, really should not even be using FRS or GMRS radio. She should just be only using the ham radio on the UHF simplex frequency, speaking to the neighborhood hams. That's what you should have been using, not FRS.
Because the instructions said FRS, so
what instructions?
I was going the emergency radio communications drill, and my understanding, like when we do these exercises, we're on FRS, and
So are you acting as a DAT team?
typically channel 4 we were told to use. So
well,
okay.
yes, you use the FRS to communicate with the field teams that are out walking the streets. And if you have a ham license, and so you're also acting as a neighborhood ham. So
Okay.
as a neighborhood ham, you communicate to your district net using your designated simplex UHF frequency.
Okay.
That's how that goes. Yeah.
It's the neighborhood ham versus the district ham, which could be a little confusing, maybe.
Yes.
You can blame me for that. I falsely assumed that I was River Road neighborhood net control again. So.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, even in Matt, even in that case, as a River Road net control, you would still use your ham radio only to speak to your other neighborhood hams that would be coming into the River Road net control. But for this exercise, you're the district net control. So, yeah.
I was a little late in learning that, so.
Yeah. Okay. That's all right. That's why we do these exercises. Yep.
And the other things that come across is one, more practice is probably better in finding times when, there are ways of finding times where would be best for all concerned. So that would be helpful. And Joe, you're on the line. You want to chime in with some of the things that we talked about?
You're muted, Joe.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, my bad. I thought we were supposed to be FRS as stat teams communicating with net control, neighborhood net control, who was then passing it on.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah. But yeah, I came in a few minutes late. I haven't heard everything that's been said. Main takeaways, speaking slowly, having it, it just takes a long time to get things through. Robert and Jerry and Matt and I feel like a month ago, post September dry run, we did like a sort of test of FRS and ham radio within ourselves. And yeah, kind of the issue that I've been having is just getting my signal heard from my, like, if I'm in my backyard, I can hear everybody, but it's hard to communicate out. But I think given that there's just trees and houses, that's just kind of something that if there were an actual emergency, it would probably be, running around in the streets trying to find a signal anyways. So that seems somewhat realistic. Yeah. I don't know. I think a lot of my comments have already been expressed, so I don't have much to add at this time.
Well, thanks, Joe. I think maybe there's maybe I need to think about the definition of neighborhood ham. Yes, we do have neighborhoods like in my area. We have Harlow neighborhood, Northeast Neighbors neighborhood, Cal Young. Over in Northwest, we got River Road neighborhood. We got Santa Clara neighborhood, and they have neighborhood hams, but also within each of those neighborhoods, there are other neighborhoods that have neighborhood hams, like close to Cal Young. Close to Quail Run and Harlow. We're not working on each of the neighborhood being a net control of hams within their neighborhood because we don't have that many. Northwest District has like 1, 2, 3, 4 hams for the whole Northwest District. So it's or 5, I should say. So it's really
Adrian now.
Okay, 6. Okay, but anyway, assign each of the hams in the district a tactical call sign and have all those hams go directly to whoever is the net control for the district. And then those ham radio operators, yes, they will use the FRS DMRS to the neighborhoods that have teams, but maybe the definition needs to work on. I don't know. But yeah, thank you. Anybody else have comments? Catherine? Who was all over there? Where were you at, Catherine?
I was over at Lane County EOC.
Okay, so was Stephanie there, or is she not there?
Tiffany did come by.
Tiffany.
She spent most of the exercise up at the McKenzie River Fire Station that was
really?
having a preparedness day today. And they had activated the ham station there and were sending traffic in from Leeburg.
Oh, cool.
So that's what she was observing, was what was going on there. There were GMRS folks out in the general vicinity that were calling in their messages, and then those were being relayed into us.
Awesome. Awesome.
And
Awesome.
then, just so you know, Springfield EOC was relaying messages to us on another frequency. So you weren't hearing all of our traffic, even
Cool.
though we checked in on the net and monitored what was going on your main net on the 688. We were also monitoring on the 14774, 14674. So we had two stations set up and we're monitoring from two different locations right outside the Goodson room, which is where our ham shack is going to be.
Right. And that, thank you, Catherine. And that is a truism that more than likely will happen in an emergency situation like Springfield may have three or four nets running at the same time, whatever is that is needed. Same thing for Lane County. So there'll be quite a bit of chatter. I know that we implemented last month, and we used today at Northeast. We implemented using headphones. That cut down on a lot of the noise and traffic that was going on in the room. By using headphones, we were still able to communicate between ourselves, but the headphones did cut down on a lot of that chatter going on. So that was good.
Absolutely.
Let
Tiffany wanted to give everybody her thanks for their time and effort. She was beyond excited that we were able to actually do this today.
All right, great. Robert, not Robert Sproul, but the other
Craig
Robert.
has
Where?
his hand up.
Oh, okay. Craig.
Craig.
See, didn't see that. All right, Craig, go ahead.
Yeah, so as far as having multiple neighborhood hams talk to districts, so within Friendly, the DAT teams are talking using FRS or GMRS to our neighborhood net control station. And at that point, we get the messages, we revise them if it's needed to be revised, and that's where we assign a message number, and then we call them up to district. If you have multiple neighborhood hams calling to district, you'll have to figure out the logistics of how you're going to manage the message numbers, I guess. It's a little complication maybe.
Yeah, you guys in Friendly are doing it different than others.
How do you guys do it? Explain that to me
Okay.
because it
All right. So, as for example, Quail Run in Harlow neighborhood, the radio team leader there is the one that generated or originated the 213 message, and they're the ones that put their message identifier to identify their location, and then that person, Sheila Pardee, which is a CERT in Quail Run, radioed her traffic to Stephen Fromm, which was a neighborhood ham, using a GMRS radio, which he is a number of blocks north of Martin Luther King Boulevard. So he took the traffic from her and then passed the traffic relayed it on up to the Northeast District Net Control and didn't change anything. And then when we got it at Northeast District Net Control, we read the message and in accordance with the resource guide, which says if somebody's trapped in a house or something like that, then it's emergency traffic. If it's a fire, just something and nobody's around, it's priority, or something like that. Or if it's to determine what priority that message is. So the district then sets that priority on the message. So yes, so the person that originates the message, they're the ones that set the message identifier.
so the current list of identifiers is on the Eugene EmComm site, like we're S2FA or whatever. Is
Right.
there a thing on there that says Quail Run someplace on that list?
I'm sorry. Is there a thing? What?
Is the prefix for the message number, that list that's on the Eugene EmComm site? Is
Yeah.
there a prefix on that list that says this Quail Run thing you're talking about?
Yes, there is.
There
It's
is. Okay. All right.
if not, it should be. It may not have been updated, but the Quail Run, the four letter prefix is HNQR, Harlow Neighborhood Quail Run.
Oh, okay. As I thought they were pretty
Yeah,
much neighborhood level stuff, but
yeah,
yeah, if you break them down smaller, then that would work fine. Okay.
yeah, yeah. That's how. Nancy, go ahead.
Well, no, I was just going to say that in Southeast 3, right now only 2 of our 4 neighborhoods are actively involved, and
Right,
SUNA did not participate today.
right.
Half their team was out of town, so however, when they are on there, our prefix on the list is S3. So for Fairmount, it's S3FN. And
Yes,
then we number each of theirs as they come in. And then on SUNA, it goes S3SU, and then we have their numbers. And
right.
when we have Amazon, it'll be S3AM, and
Yep.
it'll just go like that.
Right. And
So,
then, yes, and with the southeast neighborhoods, it'll have to be that way because you got S3, S2, S1 to differentiate which district that you're coming from.
right.
So yes, that's a good
Mhm.
way of doing that.
Yeah. So since we don't have a different identifier for all our DAT teams, we assign the numbers at the neighborhood net control
That's fine. That's
because
fine.
we kind of
Ours
have to.
does.
I don't know how else you do it.
That's the same thing we do, is that
Yeah.
the neighborhood sets it, and then the district sets the priority. So
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
it
Yeah.
comes to me.
Yeah.
I don't do the number.
Okay. Robert, not Robert Sproul, but the other Robert. Uh, I see. I don't know if there we go. You got
I'm
to
here.
tell us
Yep.
where are you located?
I was at the Springfield EOC,
Okay, cool. All right, awesome. All right. So
and yeah,
your
yeah. So I'd
comments.
like to. My comments are regarding the destination being EOC. I think I appreciate trying to keep it simple, but I think we're conflating 2 different ideas. One, I think of it like the address on a letter versus the post office you're sending it to. The post office is just the message carrier, right? They're just the message handler. So that would be the tactical call sign. But the destination is who the message is to. So I think
Mhm.
it's important to have that distinction so that if anyone, for example, you're sending a message, you want to send it to Eugene, but maybe Springfield EOC, which is the tactical call sign, is receiving those messages. We would want that message to say Eugene EOC as the destination, not just EOC, not because there is no EOC. There's Springfield, there's Eugene, there's Lane County, but those are the destinations. That's the address on the letter. And I think because we could easily have a situation where Springfield is taking on traffic from Eugene because Eugene's not available. Eugene's offline or something. And maybe that
Yes.
even switches. Maybe Eugene switches and starts taking traffic from Springfield due to relocation or something. So we still
Excellent
need that
summary.
destination.
Robert,
So that
Robert,
You're right on
destination
target.
should be, yeah.
Hold on,
Robert.
Jerry.
Okay.
Hang on, Jerry. Let him finish his thought. Go ahead, Robert.
So anyway, but I appreciate, and I think in the effort of keeping it simple, anyone that's in Eugene, for example, any of the Eugene districts, they just simply say, unless I know otherwise, it's just going to the Eugene EOC. Even if it's the Springfield EOC who's taking the message, we're just the letter carriers. We're just going to try to get it on to Eugene because maybe we have someone sitting in our office that can handle that traffic. But we need that clarification because we also may be getting something saying, hey, this goes to Lane County or whatever. Does that make
Okay, thank
sense?
you. Yeah, it makes sense. Hang on, Jerry. Yes, and I agree. And Craig even mentioned that earlier. And I think that this is a good exercise that brings that out. And so we and Eugene, we kind of been fat, dumb, and happy. We just been putting EOC because we're on the EOC's radio frequency. But yeah, I agree that in the future we don't know. We've already established that we may take traffic, and that's what this exercise is about, outside of the Eugene area. And so we need to figure out that's a good thing to whether it goes to Lane County, it's just Lane EOC or Springfield EOC or Eugene. I think we should change that and actually change that field to Eugene EOC or whichever that you're coming to on that. Go ahead, Jerry.
So, my only comment about that is what we're discounting there is that the subject block, the second part of the subject block is supposed to be the location.
Yes. Yeah. I
So,
I agree. I
So
agree.
here we are, and for again, I know it's Santa Clara, but I don't know if that particular problem is going to be in Eugene or Lane.
Well, we don't need to worry about that. We're passing the traffic. Let the people that get paid the big bucks figure that out.
And that I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, we're just passing that on. So that should not be our concern. But as for keeping things um, kind of like Robert was saying, I think in the future we should, if we in something like this again, if somebody else is, maybe next year Eugene will be the EOC for everybody, and maybe at that time Springfield will have some, maybe have a ward set up with a ward net control with a ward ham, and maybe Ward One will send some messages in to Eugene acting as net control, and we will have to pass it to Springfield to where that ward would put in that block two Springfield EOC. So I think that's good that we go ahead and do that. Identify where this message is supposed to go to, just like Robert's talking about. I'm sending a letter to my Aunt Margaret back east, but it's got to go through Portland and everything else and other post offices to get to my Aunt Margaret. So anyway, cool. Anybody else have any comments? Susan?
Craig has
Oh, I'm sorry. Craig's got his hand up. I guess
as Jerry mentioned earlier, there's kind of a patchwork of governmental jurisdictions out in River Road, but I would bet there's a pretty good chance that there might be some intergovernmental agreement that, maybe everything inside the urban growth boundary, Eugene Springfield Fire covers. So as emergency communicators, we should probably find out how that works. And maybe it should all just go to the Eugene EOC, and that's perfectly proper, but we should learn what the answers to that.
Well, maybe that's a good question to bring up at to the Eugene Emergency Manager next time I see her.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
And I like the idea of us sitting down over a pizza rather than taking time here to hash this out.
Okay, sounds good, Jerry. Are you buying?
No, you got a budget. You can buy.
Okay, Steve. Yeah, Steve.
Well, I didn't mean to sound so angry about it. So forgive me. I think what I was thinking was when we were told it was going to be Springfield EOC, that we were it, basically. We were not passing information to Eugene. They were offline. They were gone. But we were passing traffic to Lane County. So I thought that's where the termination of all this information was. But I totally understand the confusion also between a tactical call sign and an operations center, basically. So obviously, next time we do that, we'll get that nailed down for sure.
And Steve, I was thinking about that when I sent the reminder email out. I think was it last Sunday or for about reminding people about today's exercise. I think in my email I said to the fact that Springfield is just basically relaying Eugene's traffic to somebody in Eugene proper.
Yeah.
As I think something along that way. So in reality, that's what would happen. Whether that be if there was not another net set up from Springfield to somebody in authority in Eugene, that there would be some kind of a runner that would actually physically take the messages to another physical location for Eugene authority to look at and to handle, take care of. So, but that's something that to think about the what ifs. If something's, what are you going to do? You can't just put the pile of messages there and say, "Oh, that's for Eugene." They got to come pick it up or what, So you got to figure out what to do, and that's why we have these exercises. What do we do with these things?
Yeah.
You got to figure out a way to take care of that. So.
I wanted to also just talk about operations in Springfield at EOC. We had a kind of a shift in personnel. We had two people that had worked with us in the last exercise not be available today. And so we introduced another person who basically observed and participated a little bit. The main team, though, in the radio room, we shifted some responsibilities. The output, the paperwork that I have from them is a lot better now that we knew what the requirement was. It was a lot better, and Robert was a big factor in why it was better. And we shifted operators some to get people various experiences. But what I was going to say is, in an emergency, we've got now we had 7 today and 2 more. We got 9 operators that have their feet wet a little bit in network control operations. It seems like we really need to grow that a lot.
Yes.
Because there could be an Eugene EOC operating and a Springfield EOC operating and a Lane County operation also. And I would hope next year that maybe there'll be a single operation or Eugene operation will have their EOC going, and Springfield won't necessarily be handling, but you'll probably be using the same people in Eugene, I assume. But I think we have to think about how we grow. And what I would propose is that for EOC operations, it'd be great to do a quarterly exercise because you just get better at it every time you do it. And we have improvement we can make.
I agree. The more you do it, the more confident you become in what you're doing. Just like today, we had a quick correction to our phonetics. We only have one queen in our call sign, but the next time come around, it was Quebec. So that was great. So we are learning quickly on that. But yeah, I agree, Steve. And I would love to do quarterly things, but a lot of other people that are associated with the EmComm system, they don't want to put that much time, I guess, dedicate that much time to it. So that's the hardest part. As you can attest to today, we had 4 districts reporting in out of 6 of Eugene. So 2 of the districts didn't even respond. But yeah, I agree that Springfield, I've been trying to talk with Ken, try to get things going. We've already established that each of the wards will have a ward net control, and then hopefully within those wards you don't have neighborhoods, but you can have neighborhood hams that would work with damage assessment teams within each of the wards. It'd be the same thing. You just don't have neighborhoods, but you got wards. So,
well, I was just going to say, in terms of EOC operations, you could have prepared messages.
Yes.
On a quarterly basis, set up 3 locations and have them pass messages to each other just to get practice of doing that.
Just to get the practice down. For me, it was great just to fill out the radio log that I sent. I received one from Blue River. It went on the log, and then the ones that I sent, and also practice using the service cross on the messages that was sent. So yes, I agree.
That's an interesting question. How many people use the service cross?
Springfield EOC did.
Yeah,
Good.
everything was sent.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. So, and that's and the more we do it, I think the better, the more confident we will be, and things will go faster. I looked. We had, like I said, there was 4 districts that sent messages to the EOC. I don't know, Catherine. Do you know the total number of messages received at Springfield?
There were 16 received and 4 more that were forwarded.
Okay, so 16 was received, and that took 2 hours.
Yeah, we'll get better at that. No worries. That's why we're going to keep practicing.
So anyway, huh? What'd you say, Jerry?
Winley.
Yeah, it's coming.
Oh, Wind Lake, yeah. Well, yeah, we were talking about that today at Northeast that, yeah, it'd be good if the cities bring the money for WinLink. It would be a lot faster. But anyway,
Yeah, I
all
was
right.
going to ask if Jerry was going to buy some laptops and dongles for us.
As long as you give me the money back, it's fine with me, Catherine.
Don't know how many
Okay.
of those people can afford them. But Andy, if you don't mind, just real quick to answer a couple of Steve's questions.
Sure.
Aries is still going to be doing exercises, doing our weekly exercises. There's a new class starting in January, so will be having more people join us. And hopefully by the time we do this next year, you'll see a trained and really active group that know what they're doing. This was our second time out. I think we did very well for what we've been able to accomplish just in a short period of time.
I think so too. I think I have it's a learning experience. That's why we do this. So no, I don't have any
Mhm.
complaints at all. It's we all make mistakes. No, that's how we learn. We learn by the mistakes that we make. So no, I think the ones everybody in Springfield, they had quite a gaggle of people there. So they I'm sure they got a good experience, and that's the whole point. No, great. Now, just a few
Yeah, and
things.
major thanks to Steve for taking that on.
Good job, Steve. Appreciate it. No, it's great. I mean, hey, we only have one thing, and that was a queen. We only have one queen today, so that's
That's
great.
right.
So, yeah, yeah, my ears picked up when I heard that. Like, what? No, don't do
That's the least of our problems.
that. I know.
You
Well,
knew exactly what they meant, so whatever.
I, I know, but it's like a picky thing, I guess, for me. But anyway,
I hear you.
um,
Frank and Nancy were both missing in action today, so that was a good thing, right?
so
Well, by
awesome.
the time we were just about done, my brain was blank and I couldn't think of Bravo for B. So that's, yeah, who knows?
I keep the list in front of me.
Yeah, I didn't do that. I should have.
I want to check with Susan. Susan was our recorder at the Northeast District for Jim Bell, which was he was the district ham for the district hams, net control for the district hams. Susan, you have any comments or anything you want to say?
I just thought it was really nice. Everyone was doing it, it was so different from previous years. People were again getting more comfortable with the terminology, with saying this is an exercise, with giving their identifying neighborhood information. Still, some people are rolling a little fast with, and in the heat of the moment, you're blurting out all this stuff. And I just encourage everyone to practice writing in block letters. Have someone read something to you really fast and write as quick as you can in block capital letters and just see what we mean. The receiving person has to be able to write it down in block letters. So that's why we come back to you multiple times saying, hey, can you repeat that? Just a few words at a time. But yeah, it was great. I thought it was really good. And I thought Springfield, the EOC, you guys sounded so smooth. It was very professional sounding. So kudos to you.
Thanks, Susan. And what Susan's talking about, I picked up on there was about the slow down. All of us here, being ham radio operators or net control or whatever, uh, when it does hit the fan, we all been talking about the big thing, the big 9.0. Your teams out in the field and also your neighborhood hams, they're going to be quite excited. The adrenaline's going to go up and they're going to be speaking fast. So all of you are going to have to stay calm, cool, and collective on the radio. You're going to have to calm them down. You're going to almost, just like your mother did, like when you were a kid, calm down. So you're going to have to calm the folks down, reassure them that they're going to be okay, that everything's fine, and just you're going to have to talk to them to where they their level comes down, and they will speak slower, and they'll be more zoned in on what they're doing and not be distracted with all the chaos that's going around them. So that's something, try to learn that and realize that you got to be the calming voice when things kind of hit the fan. So remember that. Anybody else have any comments before we take off?
I just wanted to mention this Saturday happened to correspond with Rick, which is the big ham swap, which got
Right.
canceled actually because of a water line break.
Oh my. Huh.
Yeah, so just this morning it canceled. But for next year for the exercise, it'd be great if it didn't, if it's possible not to conflict with that.
Well, the next year's Steve, next year's exercise is going to be on October 17th. So go ahead and please mark your calendar. October 17th.
And tell the Rick guys not to do a thing on that day.
Yeah, Hall, that's the issue. This is nationwide, Steve.
Oh, it
Yeah.
is. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
October 17th is the Saturday following the Great American Shakeout.
I see.
And so September the 12th will be the dry run exercise. So those two dates, you can already mark those down on your calendar for next year. That's what we would be doing. Yeah, great.
So October
Yeah,
17 is Rick Real.
Is it?
So just as far as turnout, I was thinking we might only have like 3 people show up today because there's so many things going on. And we had 10 people show up at Washington Parkway where another person was participating remotely. So we had a great turnout. I was very, very pleased with that and pretty surprised. So had a really good training session. Several new people that had just joined the group last month at a outreach meeting that was held in the neighborhood. So yeah, great turnout, I thought.
Well, after the first year, I want to get with Butch. He's in Southeast One, trying to get Southeast One motivated. Next year, I would like to have teams actually walk out. Either we get the pictures that go in the yards, signs that go in the yards, so teams can walk and see the pictures of the damage, and then write a message or pass a message back to what they see for next year. And also use some envelopes with pictures in them and have the envelopes taped on telephone poles throughout the neighborhood so that they can walk and see and collect the envelopes, open them up and see what they got and report what they see. Also, I'm going to be working with Tiffany and Althea about some other maybe bringing those into either having maybe work in a mass casualty type event as well on that day. So we got different ideas, but anyway, so that's the goal for next year.
One of the hams in the neighborhood contributed this great picture. It's like if a gasoline tanker ran into an electrical substation. It's like this huge flaming substation. Yeah, so it was a really great picture.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Super. All right. Any other comments, questions? Well, I want to thank you all very much for your time that you allocated today for this exercise. I thank you for your dedication and staying with it. Also, next year, Northwest District, we're going to have a pizza party and talk with all the hams and the certs and see if we can get something moving there as well, and start doing some more training. I'll be working up a training schedule at North Kinsey for January, for the second Saturday of each month of January. So I'll be working something that's open to anybody, even Springfield folks. We don't want to discriminate or anything like that. So I'm not sure what it'd be. I may do maybe the first training may be an overview. This is how the model works, or how the model is laid out. And this is what this is your task as what your talent is, what you bring to the table. So anyway, so I'll be thinking about that. But anyway, any other comments? All right, great. Have a good day. Go Ducks.
Bye.
I'm going to cut
All
it,
right.
and this will be again published on the Eugene EmComm website.